This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Jim Schaller.
Welcome, good neighbors, to episode number 61 of the Good Neighbor Podcast, Estero. Today we have good neighbor Amanda Arrington from Chip Cookies. Amanda, welcome.
Good morning. How are you?
I am doing great. Pleasure to get to know you. And why don't we just jump right in and learn a little bit about what you do over at Chip Cookies.
Oh, and so Chip Cookies, we serve warm gourmet cookies out of our store. We make all our dough in store, and we roll our dough and we bake all day long.
Busy. It sounds like a demanding job. Baking cookies, though, it could be rougher, right?
Oh, yeah. No, everyone walks in our store and they say how good it smells. And, I wish I could smell it.
Right? You get immune to it after a while, right?
You do. Every once in a while, we'll open a proofer and we'll get a little whiff of it, but not enough.
Right. I hear you. So how did you get involved in the cookie industry?
Yeah. So I originally did cookies out of my home. I did like the decorative royal icing cookies. And I ended up having a couple health problems along the way, and I stopped doing cookies. And I'm a mom of 6, so I was, doing the mom thing for a while, and it's great, and I love it. But I really missed baking cookies, so we started looking around and stumbled upon a local cookie store. And we walked in, and looked at my husband, and I'm like, I want something like this, because I did everything was at home.
Yep.
So I wanted something more where I could interact with the community and do what I love doing. So we started looking at franchising, and we looked at some other, we looked at a lot of cookie franchises, and Chip actually popped up on my Instagram one day. I've never heard of it, but it caught my attention. I started looking at it. One thing led to another. Next thing you know, we're sitting around our island in our kitchen, and myself, my husband, and all our kids are tasting Chip cookies that we had delivered to our house one night. So it was interesting, and we were all sitting there numbering, one's the worst, 10's the best, and we're all eating a little sample, and we're all giving our input, and we fell in love. So we flew to Salt Lake City, tried the cookies in person, and once I took a bite of that Biscoff cookie, I was sold. We were bringing Chip home.
Nice.
Yeah.
So how? I mean, you mentioned, or this is the first Chip in Florida, right?
This is the first Chip in Florida. They have 11 corporate stores in Utah and Idaho. Chip did start in Utah. We were the 6th franchise to open, so they just started franchising, so that's also exciting. We're expected the end of this year, they'll have 100 franchises open.
Wow.
Yeah, first in Florida. We were super excited. We were actually the first east of the Mississippi River, so we
That's
like
awesome.
that. Yeah.
Groundbreaking. See,
That's
I love
right.
that. I love that. So you mentioned some challenges that you went through. Is there one that maybe you've gone through in your process to get where you are today? You can look back at now and say, you know what, I'm in a better place because I went through that.
There's challenges in everything. But I mean, my biggest challenge obviously is I've never owned a storefront business. So just learning, they say you learn something every day, but when you go through something like this, you really learn something every day. So there was definitely, some struggles along the way that we learned, but, I've grown from that. And when if we're ready to do another one, I'm going to hit the ground running, and I'm sure I'll still learn things, but I know a lot more now than I did then. And it's just been honestly a wonderful, fun, exciting experience from the beginning up until today.
And that's the thing. You've chased your passion, you've followed your passion, and it's brought you to this wonderful opportunity here today. Is there something going on in the industry? I mean, you see a lot of cookie places opening up. Is there trends that are going on right now that maybe we could discuss?
Oh, I mean, there's definitely a cookie trend for sure. Even weddings, we've been doing some wedding expos, and you definitely find at events like that people are kind of veering a little away from cakes and doing more, cookie spreads or candy bars and stuff like that. We get a lot of interest in birthday parties. And so there's definitely a cookie trend on the rise.
Yeah. Well, it's individual. It's, you don't have to cut a cake up. You can take a cookie with you and you can customize them on top of it, correct?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, that's one of the things that actually set Chip apart. I mean, most cookies you can customize, but you come into our store and we have a cookie bar. So, which is it's unique. Kids love it. Heck, adults love it.
Right. Who
You
doesn't love
come in-
cookies?
yeah. But our cookies, I mean, you can get them plain, or we can infuse them with flavors and toppings, and all the good things to literally make every cookie unique and different.
Wow. So you can customize your cookie to your taste and desires. I love
You
it.
can, yes.
I love it. So are you from here originally then? At the Southwest Florida or?
I am originally from Connecticut. Now, if you're going to
Okay.
ask me a lot of questions about it, I don't remember living there. I was born in Connecticut, but we moved to Florida. I was in elementary school. We actually moved to Port Charlotte.
Okay.
Then kind of bounced to Tampa and then made our way to Fort Myers. I've been here. My daughter is, I have 6 of them. So my oldest is 14. So we've been here over 14 years now.
Wow. And
So
you've seen
Fort Myers for me
a
is
lot
home.
of change. Yeah.
Yes.
That is great. So outside of work, you mentioned six kids. I know, and being a business owner, you probably don't have a lot of time, but what do you enjoy doing outside of work?
We're very family oriented. My kids are number one, always have been, always will be. But we like to go on a lot of vacations, most of which include Orlando.
Sure.
But yeah, a lot of vacations. The kids are in a lot of events. We have soccer, volleyball, ice skating, so we're kind of bouncing around everywhere. But at the end of the day, we just pretty much we do everything together as a family, and that's
That's what it's
everything.
about. And
It
this
is.
opportunity has allowed you to do more, which is wonderful. And I
Yeah.
love it. So is there one thing maybe our listeners should know about chip cookies that maybe they don't know?
I mean, I'm obviously biased. I do love all cookies, but I mean, chip cookies is the best. But outside of that, I mean, to me as a business owner, obviously the brand is important, the cookie's important. But I'll tell you, you come in our store, it's an experience. From the minute you walk in, you get hit with the cookie smell. But outside of that, my staff, they're over the top amazing. I mean, they are a big reason that Chip is what Chip is here in Estero. And I love that. And I also think that being the owner and being in the store plays a big presence. And I've built a lot of relationships with all my customers that walk in our door, and it's amazing. So not only are you coming to Chip to get a good cookie, but you're also going to leave with a smile and just a great experience overall.
And that's important because a lot of businesses nowadays have kind of lost that aspect as far as customer service and connection with the community. And it's wonderful to hear people like yourself, going above and beyond and doing that. So
Yeah.
you have to have a favorite cookie, right? What's your favorite cookie?
So as I mentioned, when we flew to Salt Lake City and tried the cookies, the Biscoff cookie was the done deal for me. But lately, I've been veering towards our sugar cookie. It's really good. As I'm walking to go get my kids from the door, I'm like, I'm leaving, and I'm like, ooh, that one's a little messed up, and I'll take it and eat it on my way to go get the kids.
Can't
But
sell it. I can't sell that one. I better eat it. I better eat it.
yeah, no, it's not good enough. But I'll grab it and eat it on the way out. So definitely the sugar cookie has sparked my interest lately.
There you go. And I'm sure each one of your kids have their favorite cookies as well.
Oh yeah, they do. You know what though? The kids truly they like coming into the store and customizing their own cookies. They'll put their little gloves on and they'll decorate their own cookie, and that cookie to them is the best thing ever.
And it allows them to be creative and inventive, and I love it. I love it. So how would our listeners go about learning more about you if they wanted to stop by or see you guys?
Well, I mean, you can walk in, you can find us online. I'm always in the store, so feel free to come in. I will sit at the table and talk with you all day if you wanted to. employees as well. But we're an open book. You can call us. We're Facebook, Instagram. If you want to order cookies online, we have Uber, we have DoorDash, we have it all.
Anybody who needs cookies needs to come and see you. I'm going to come see you. I want cookies. Now you're making me hungry.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And
Thank you for taking the time today. It's been a pleasure getting to know you, and I definitely will be stopping by soon because I love cookies too.
Yeah, well, we'll see you when you come in. I'm sure I'm there.
Take care.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast Estero. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpestero.com. That's gnpestero.com. Or call 239-296-2621.
That was awesome. Nice job.